welcome back to another episode of the Jacksonville Buzz. I'm Steve Strum. As always, next to me is the multi-chromatic Colonel Chris Budihas.
Man, I feel
Do you even
important.
know what that means?
No, I don't.
Okay, look it up.
Okay, all right.
But we're not here to talk about it with you and your wonderful pink jacket.
It looks awesome.
The cops are here.
What?
They finally
Who called them in?
Probably the producers.
Okay.
So we got Angela Gaff from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, but she's not here, hopefully, to arrest either one of us. What are you doing here?
Well, yes, I am not here to arrest, so no worries, we are okay.
We're good.
Just here
All right,
to.
cut. We're done.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm kidding.
Okay. So I am here and delighted to be here, so thank you so much.
Yeah.
Just really trying to help continue to spread the word, and for those individuals who want to make a difference in Jacksonville, who are kind of just interested, the opportunities and careers with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office.
Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. You know, I grew up in a red and blue family, in all sincerity. And so there's a need, but there's a need for officers, but not all of them are going to be on the street all the time. We're talking offset a little bit about the infrastructure of the JSO, not just being the cops, right? There's a whole universe there. Tell us a little bit about the organization, what you do in that HR recruiting space, and what are some of the current needs that our listeners maybe want to be aware of?
Absolutely. So we are a 3,500 strong team, and that is because we're consolidated. So we have, we're a mix of police officers, corrections officers, judicial officers, and then civilians. So think of civilians, anything corporate America.
Right.
You're that support role to our uniformed officers. So, and I'm from Jacksonville, so typically I kind of just thought police officer, which is a great way to have a career, but we have other ways that someone can make a difference. So with our correctional facilities, just saying 28 different roles somebody can have within the correctional facility. So it's not just what you would see on TV. We have programs, we have rehabilitation programs, so we're working with the inmates to have a better life outside of where they are in the facilities. And then judicial officers, there are Monday through Friday protective service work in the courthouse. They're going to go through our academies. We're going to sponsor them to obtain their certificate in law enforcement, just for police as well. But they're going to go help us out and monitor safety in the courtroom setting.
So let me ask this question about the academy, because I know it's changed and evolved over the years. So hey, I think I want to pursue an opportunity with JSO. I'm in the military, let's say in the SJAX. What does that pathway look like?
So we are a very popular landing place for transitioning service members, or maybe for those who have taken some time off and decide they still want to make a difference in the community. So what does that look like? Of course, we are seeking full-time employment. So we are also a SkillBridge partner. So if they're within that period, we have an amazing military recruiter who can guide them through the SkillBridge portion. So we have that internship opportunity, but otherwise we have just starting your career. It starts with an application, 11 steps of the screening process, but we have academies throughout the year. So our onboarding team will work with them every step of the way to get them for that next step.
And how long is that academy?
So for police and judicial, they can target about 6 months initial if they don't have their certification. So I would go in not having my certification. So for 6 months academy portion, it's physical fun, but then also studying to obtain your basic law enforcement certification. And then they'll branch off. Our officers will go to our JSO orientation field training with officers, and then the judicial officers will more so enter into the courthouse facility and do on-the-job training there. Now for corrections, it's 3 to 4 months to obtain their basic certification in corrections. And then they'll enter through what we would call our JSO orientation for corrections officers, and then they'll enter into field training. So about, I would say for police and judicial, a year or so, but for corrections, within 6 to 7 months, they're going to be solo.
So you are primarily responsible through the HR department of recruiting, right? Because that's kind of the funnel that it goes. I guess my first real question for you would be, I mean, how does it feel to have your phone number on the bumper of every cop car in the city? I mean,
well,
it's like you should name yourself Jenny. What's your number? It's
well,
867-5309. For anybody who doesn't get that joke, just Google it. That's called Generation Gap. Sorry, guys. Anyway.
It's one of my top 5 songs.
There you go. So hopefully somebody gets that. But in all sincerity, so you are in the HR side, and you get an opportunity to see the police department and the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office in a unique light. So there's a gentleman that's our current sheriff, TK Waters, does a great job. Known that guy far too long. Occasionally still answers the call, but I know he's super busy trying to give leadership and direction to the Jacksonville area, what we can become. Yeah. So from your vantage point, where do you see the JSO universe and evolving into the city of the future? You know, you got the stadium deal done, and we all know that's just the first thing of many things to come. So as Jacksonville evolves into that Jacksonville of the future, or whatever it comes branded as, how does your world evolve to that to make sure that you're serving our community as it grows? Sometimes hyperactively, it grows a lot, and then it, what are you doing to do that? And what's TK's what's his plan?
So we are out there a lot. What works for us is, just as we were talking about earlier, being out in the community, engaging with the community. We have a lot of individuals who are transferring from other agencies that want to come join us. So it's being out there. That's number one. Attending events. You know, we have a lot of, sometimes an applicant will call and they'll have 30 minutes of questions, but that's okay. So it's not just me that's recruiting. We have another team of about 5 or 6 other recruiters that are happy to help answer those questions. We offer sit-alongs and work-alongs. For those who are really interested but still not sure, they can ride along, a citizen ride along with an officer, go to one of our substations. But even if they're not interested in employment, they can be a part of Sheriff's Watch, or they could be a part of, other programs that we have. So it could be 24/7 if you let it, but we have great support from sheriff to all of our directors and everyone else. Honestly, what's interesting is our biggest, our platform where we get the most is word of mouth. It's our employees who are saying, join GSO, the bumper stickers on the car, or just even going to the website. So.
It's funny you say that, because one of the soldiers I mentioned off camera that I served with in Germany and Afghanistan, when he came back to the States, he came here, he taught school, he's taught math out at Mayport High and coached football, and he joined JSO, and he said, it wasn't the military, but it was like the military. It was a profession, right? Like a family. He felt like there was a sense of belonging that he had in the military, but now I had it, and he had it with the JSO. So it brings more than just, benefits and such. It's the benefit of also being part of a larger community and something that actually a mission that's bigger than yourself. So that's gigantic.
Definitely. Culture is huge.
Culture is huge.
That's what a lot of, you could work anywhere.
Yeah.
But stability, culture, and retirement, that's nice.
Yeah, I think it was Peter Truck said, culture eats strategy for breakfast. So that's a true statement. If you want people to stick around, you got to have a place where they want to come to work and stay. Yeah.
Well, Shooter McGavin eats something different for breakfast, but that would break the family show. In all sincerity, thank you so much for joining us in what you're doing for the community. I mean, growing up police and fire family, I mean, I get it. I mean, there is, to your point, the culture, right? How do you deal with, life-threatening circumstances, for 24 hours straight, 40 hours a week, right? It's awesome what you're doing to be supportive of that community, but then you're also that community supports our community. And it don't have to be cops and robbers and the bad guys. So what we'll do is, I mean, obviously everybody here that's watching the show can see, that we do, in fact, we'll put your number, on the back of every single bumper of a police car. But what we'll also do is put your links on our website, which is the Daily News Network, so people can go check it out, see what's going on, see if there's an opportunity that fits them. And so I'm sure we'll have something else fun to talk about, but thank you so much for joining us.
Angela.
In all sincerity.
Thank you.
It's a fun show, and you guys are doing some really cool stuff to help keep us safe, so we have the ability to do this.
Thank you.
Awesome.
And I can't do this thing without you, man.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to
Appreciate it.
I am definitely, I'm stealing that jacket.
Okay.
I know your wife. It's going to happen. Guys, thank you so much for joining us on the Jacksonville Buzz. If you like us, share us, and remember, live with gratitude.